Here we go. Now, first off, it is Wednesday, Wealth Wellness Wednesday, 1:00 lunchtime. So that's why we're, we both had cookie schedules this morning. So why not do it for lunch, right? But good afternoon, everyone. This is Carol, so AKA Naughty Boss, live with you.
Sisters, hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 on this Share the Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Today is April, what's today? April 12th? Yeah, April 12th. Let me tell you that this side of the house is like an ice cube. Outside is flipping gorgeous. Yesterday, flipping gorgeous as I was working on uploading yesterday's podcast. It was very slow and pooky, and I normally will sit at my desk and kind of babysit it and read and look up occasionally. I'm like, screw this, I'm going outside.
Absolutely. Bring your work to the outdoors, and why not, right? Enjoy that weather. I mean, New England is on its way of breaking out of that winter yuckiness and, starting to really feel the feel of spring, of a new season about coming. Usually, obviously around Easter time, you start to see, the first seedlings start to like pop. Here, obviously, we're full swing in all kinds of flowers, and the gardenias are out and the hibiscuses are out. And just the sense of spring are just popping.
It certainly is. And of course, last week, I would say toward the end of last week, the the pink flowers that we have, I don't know what they're called. I want to say hibiscus, but I'm sure I have that wrong. Started popping up.
Hydrangeas, I think. The big ones.
Oh, it may be a hydrangea. I think you're right.
I think the hydrangea, you've got some gorgeous, gorgeous bushes.
Oh my God. Absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, they're like, full bloom. And of course,
Take some pictures.
Yeah, the neighbors across the street with their tree. In fact, there was one down on Divine Street, and I think it's called a dogwood.
Yes, the dogwoods would be out this time of year. Yep.
And then, of course, over on the other side, his cousin's house with all the pretty flowers that are up. There's purple ones, and then the yellow flowers. I forget what they call those.
Daffodils.
Maybe daffodils, yeah.
Daffodils and tulips.
And of course, the garden, especially where the asparagus is at some point, maybe tomorrow or the next day, Gary will rototill it. But you can start to see the little buds starting to appear. And it's just like, just the warmth. And it just felt wonderful.
Oh, that's good. It's a good feeling. Like I said, going from one season to another. Yesterday and early this morning, we've had some much needed rain, not, a downpour here last maybe 5 minutes, so it did not obviously fill up the ponds that it really needs to, because they are really, really low. We have not had any substantial rain in well over 4 weeks. So things are a tad dry here. But as far as the ponds and whatnot, obviously we've got the irrigation system going, and so everything is still staying, plentiful with water, except for the ponds. They really need that. But just to see the different colors and the scents, I love the scents of the different flowers. So I love going out to our little garden, which is nicknamed Central Park South, and just sitting there, and just the aroma is just spectacular this time of year. And it really does give you an insight to, the change of the season, the newness that comes with the new season, the new growth. And we can really correlate that within our own health and wellness on this Wealth Wellness Wednesday about new growth. You're starting to notice people getting out and about more, I'm sure, in New England. They want to get their healthy on. They realize that really that mindset of, beach weather is not far away. So, maybe, the whole, as we talked about, that New Year's resolutions, so not working out, right? Because a lot of people after 6 weeks, sometimes even after 3, and even sometimes after 1, have kind of, okay, I'm over the New Year's thing, right? And that's the reason why resolutions, especially where it's connected to a New Year resolution, where's the solution in that if you're not really changing your habit? And we already know that you can't change a habit in a week, can't change it in a few weeks. It really takes a good 21 days to start to develop the habit, and then really a good 3 months to kind of cement the deal, meaning that it becomes habit, second nature for you to continue on that health and wellness journey. So I love when we chat about, this time of year, because now you're coming out of those winter cold hibernation months, and now you're entering into a warmer stage, and how that impacts your health, your wellness, and your mindset. And it really does. I mean, it changes. It's a game changer for those that may have felt, oh my God, I feel like I'm cooped up. I can't go out and do my power walk unless I'm wearing, those special shoes that have little spikes in them. Do I want a chance slipping on ice? No. And a lot of people will, still stick with their favorite routine, going to the gym, which is excellent. Or some people may say, you know what, I don't even feel like getting on the driveway because, the weather may be not the best. So they started really adapting their health and wellness and their fitness in their home. And now all of a sudden the weather's starting to get better and they want to break out of that.
Oh, most definitely. And what I say is, we've, talked about resolutions so often, but, hey, it's vitally important. Why not, for instance, think of creating your own impact zone? You know how they have those different wellness wheels? Create your own wellness wheel. In the center is your impact zone. And, spread those, those things or goals that you want to achieve. Get in a 45-minute walk, read an inspiring book, whatever it may be for you. Create your own impact zone, create your own wellness wheel. Because I think if we kind of turn the specs around, we have more of an investment in it versus, okay, this didn't work after 2 days, forget it. I just might as well forget it. I've done that. And guess what? That's kind of a lame excuse. And I say that because I know that. Been there, done that.
Right. And I think it becomes with, kind of like a habit kind of thing. We think of, oh, it's not working, because again, we go back to what holds us back. And I think part of it is a psychological thing that we need instant gratification. Like, it's got to happen now. Or I've been working at this for a week. Why don't I see any changes yet? Why am I still so hungry? Why am I not seeing, my mindset change towards, doing these new exercises that, God forbid, I'm not doing them right, or I don't like doing them. Got to give yourself a little break.
That is true. And, and think of it this way. We always talk about foundations, right? You can't build a house without a foundation. So think of your impact zone, or whatever you want to call it, as you're pouring cement. And what happens when you pour the cement? Initially, it kind of spreads out to the different forms, and it's wet. It needs time to cure. So you're in that curing phase. So think of it that analogy. Well, thank you. Well, the curing phase, it worked for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but you have to think of it in different terms. If you're one of those people, and I've been through this myself, that has always been put myself on a resolution dissolution,
right?
Because this time, past January 16th, typically, if I don't see results, forget it. You have to change your thinking, however that works for you. Whether it's you wake up one day and you say, you know what? Before I even have a cup of coffee, I am going to drink my 20 ounces of water.
Amen. Amen to the water.
Just start out simple. I think with goals, when you look at a goal, like say you want to lose 20 pounds, 20 pounds is like over here, but you have to work up to that 20 pounds, don't you?
Right. And again, we talk about the small stepping stones that not only your body needs to go through, but your mindset. You have to celebrate the little wins. And if it was, hey, I needed to introduce more fruits and veggies to my diet, and I did that for a whole week, that's a celebration. That is something that you should, be grateful for, because it's not
Oh, we
easy
just lost her.
to implement. Now, I really I'm trying to eat in the season. So what I mean by that is anything that is of that season, what is grown in that season, for me, makes it less complicated, because like if you go to your local produce company or your farm stand or your grocery store, whatever it may be, I mean, back in the day, I mean, I can remember when we were kids, you didn't have all the vegetables that we have today around. It was what was organically named. Now, because of the way shipping and shipping from one side of the United States to the other, or whatever it may be, we are able to introduce many different things. It doesn't always very tasty and very, very good for you either. Know what's in, and I focus on this season, I go to the next season. It's a great way to keep things fresh, but it's also the best way to eat your fruits and veggies when you're eating them locally grown and they're in season. It's a different taste. It's much fresher. You're going to find it more satisfying. And I think that has really helped me not get bored, because let's face it, for a lot of people, they don't like fruits and veggies. A lot of people say, what can you do with this? And I think if we were to poll people, I would say it's probably more veggies they dislike than fruit. I'm going to throw that out there, because that would be my interpretation, and I could be way off base, because I do enjoy both. But I know there's some people that totally do not want to eat veggies. I don't think I've ever known anyone that doesn't want to eat fruit, but I know a ton of people that just don't like vegetables. It just, for whatever reason, whether they're not really taking the time to come be creative with a recipe, or, and there's certain vegetables that I won't even bother to implement, because I just don't think they're that good or that healthy. Like, I don't like corn. To me, corn is a wasted starch / veggie. I'm not a fan of corn. I'm not a fan of that's probably really the only vegetable, like even lettuce. And I love different varieties of lettuce, but even lettuce doesn't really have a lot of nutrients in it. When you think about it, it's mostly water.
Yeah, it's very water soluble, and it doesn't, like, to me, arugula has a taste to it. I prefer arugula.
Yeah, especially that salad you make, that apple salad. That's probably one of my favorites. And so here you're introducing that particular recipe. You're implementing apples into it and the taste of the vegetables. So I like that. But I love berries. I don't know anyone that doesn't like fruit, but I do know a lot of people that just don't. I don't know. They're just not into veggies.
So talking about veggies, what is your least favorite vegetable?
My least favorite would have to be, I'm not a big string bean fan.
Oh,
I'm not a big string bean fan. I don't know why. Again, just I don't know. I don't know. It's a texture thing. I mean, and I love Brussels sprouts. I love spinach. I love cooking spinach with mushrooms and sauteing them. I love that. I love celery. And you know what? Actually, carrots. I don't like carrots either. I'm not a fan of carrots.
I think my least favorite veggies are lima beans. Like, if they're in a mixed vegetable, okay, I'll eat them, but I'll sometimes separate them out. I don't know. To me, it's like eating a bug or something. Not that I've ever eaten a bug, but I would imagine.
You don't know. Kidney bean. I'm not a fan of a kidney bean, but I love it. And everyone goes, oh, but you love making chili. I don't use kidney beans in my chili. I use a cannellini bean because cannellini bean is a better bean from a digestion perspective, and it's not as harsh on your stomach like a kidney bean. So I'm not a fan of a kidney bean. It's just, yeah.
Hmm. And
What's your favorite vegetable?
oh, my favorite vegetable
Mm,
have to be the arugula.
yeah, I like that. My favorite vegetable, I'm gonna probably say, I might go with celery, which is, I know is an odd thing, but what I like about celery is you can saute it, goes great in anything. You can put it in your salad, but it's also a nice crunchy treat with dip. So if you're like trying to stay away from chips or, the junk food piece, you're still getting that fun crunch. And it's great to dip. So I do like celery, and then I love cooking with it as well. I like it in tuna. I know you don't like tuna.
Ugh.
I like it in tuna fish. I do like it in any of my salads. And I especially love, sauteing it with onions and mushrooms and, making some sort of concoction that way. So I would say that. How about your fruit? What's your favorite fruit?
Oh, berries, a raspberry.
I'm the same thing. I love strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries are my favorites. And I love them because, again, they're versatile. You can eat them, in a bowl. You can make pancakes with them. Side dish, you can have them with a little shortcake and whipped cream. They're versatile. And put them in your cereal, your oatmeal. You can make muffins with them. So it's just a very versatile type of fruit. So I love berries.
But remember way back when, when I think of celery, I always think of when we were kids and on the holidays, mommy would make
Stuffing.
cheese in the celery and then
Paprika.
paprika on it.
Yeah. Again, because it was that kind of a snack, and now you've got something creamy with a crunch. And it really is versatile. It just, and I always think of obviously stuffing, making, the onions and the celery and getting those all golden brown for chopping them up fine for the stuffing. So I love that. It's just one of those very versatile. I like versatile fruits, versatile vegetables where there's multiple things that you could do with it and make with it. And then you don't get bored with it.
Well, that's true. And speaking of boring foods, Gary and I were having this conversation the other night. And I said, oh, I'm just, so tired of, a meatloaf, or I'll make ground turkey meatballs or whatever. And, it gets boring. He says, well, why don't you buy some fish? And I'm like,
are you out of your mind? And I think she's frozen.
yeah, I froze up.
That's all right. Well, why would he want you to buy fish when he knows you can't stand fish?
Well, here's the thing with that. Where am I? Here I am. Thing with that. Whoops. Am I back? Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. I had a call. All these things were going haywire. Yeah, exactly. So I hate seafood, and I'm going to go out and cook seafood. I don't think so.
No, because of this like I love seafood. I love fish, but you have to be mindful because it's the scent of it can be, depending on what fish you're cooking, can be strong. So, and even someone that really enjoys fish as much as I do, I don't like the smell of it. And it's not, a lot of people say, well, it shouldn't smell bad, if it's fresh. That's nothing to do with it. It's still a fresh fish smell. It's like the smell when you go into a fish market, which I'm not a big fan of, because you're over inundated with, the seafood scents and then the, fish. And I'm not a fan of that either. And then, I'll be spraying my house. I just can't. Well, and the fun thing, last week, I had not made like a good burger, and I don't even know how long. So anyways, I decided to make it. And then we had to go out Can't remember where we were going. We had somewhere to go. And oh, I know, because I made it for lunch. And then we had a cocktail hour or something to go to. We came home and John walks in and he goes, "Oh my God, this smells like a burger joint. Did you have the fan on?" I said, "Yeah, I did." And it's funny how certain scents of the food when you're cooking them linger. So if I'm smelling that from a burger, I don't want to smell it from fish.
Yeah, it's just, you know, he has his chance if we go out, he'll, you know, like we went out for pizza, I think it was last Friday for a quick pizza, and he likes shrimp on his pizza. Okay, and then of course they come by and say, "Oh, can I put them in one box?" And I'm like, "No."
Don't pollute my pizza.
And then when we reheat it, I have to heat mine up first because you can't do them together
Yeah,
because
the scent. Yeah. I agree with that. And I like fish, but I agree. I would want it separate, especially if it's not something that you really care about. Taste buds. So why pollute somebody else's food?
yeah, and he was like, "Well, you know, you should, you know, fish is very good for you." I'm like, "What part of I don't like seafood? Don't you understand?"
Well, and he's correct because there are great fish capsules and things that you can take from a vitamin perspective. Fish oil is very, very good for our bodies, but there are a lot of people that don't like fish, so they take the capsule. So they're still going to get the benefits, just not tasting the flavor that they don't care about. For some, it may be a taste bud thing. For others, it may be a texture thing. But there are, alternatives to make sure that you're getting the fish oil, which is, like I said, fantastic for your body and your gut.
Yeah, you know, it's for me, it's the smell and obviously the taste.
Yeah.
I've tried all sorts of different fish at different times throughout my life, and the result is I don't flippin' like seafood. Ugh.
Yeah, some people just don't care for it. I mean, I always loved seafood. I was not a big fish fan, but now I'm actually into a lot of different fishes. And it's, like I said, I enjoy the flavor, and I really go for more of a white, mild fish, just because of, for me, it's the scent thing. The smell of fish is not my favorite. But it is Wellness Wednesday, and this is a day where we come together and we talk about, having that healthy relationship with money, and how the more we have as an entrepreneur, in different ways, to monetize, what we're passionate about is going to translate into really being able to impact others in a positive way, whether it be your community, your church, your favorite charity. And we always talk about, that our thoughts are electric currents, and what you think, you become, right? Just like the people that you surround yourself with, you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with, you don't want people like exactly alike, right? Because then we'd all be boring if we're all exactly alike. But with the same kind of mindset that has that vision of understanding that, yes, with more money, you can get the bells and the whistles. We know that. That's not what we're referring to. It's really about impacting more, because you can do more. But in order for you to create that mindset, to create more wealth, you have to have a healthy relationship with it. It's kind of one of those subjects that a lot of people don't like to talk about. Well, how can you kind of get involved with that, change your mindset, get, into that healthier habit when you have no money, right? Well, again, it's about the mindset, putting it out there and doing things that will generate that mindset by giving to others during a financial exchange that they don't know is coming. And it's someone that you don't know. And I know it sounds odd. We've had so many people say, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about doing that. I don't know who I'm giving it to, blah, blah, blah. It's quite all right. It's not about the money. It could be $1, $5, $10, $100 bill, whatever you feel like giving. And you're going to give it to an unsuspecting person. So you're not necessarily even going to be around. You may want to stay around and kind of hide in the background if you want, see who's going to be the recipient. But it's really just about surprising them with an act of kindness and maybe changing the direction of their day. Maybe you're going to, leave a $5 bill, and that's enough for them to get almost 2 gallons of gasoline. Maybe it's enough for them to, buy a loaf of bread. Maybe it's enough for them to buy that gallon of milk, or towards, between that and the coupon, they can now get their baby diapers. You don't know how someone is appreciative, especially when they don't know it's coming. That's the whole point. So how can you do that? There's many different ways that you can impact other people, doing a financial exchange, and you have to make sure it's no one that you know. Meaning, we're not talking about your favorite charity. We're not talking about lending money to your family or a friend or your neighbor or whatever. It's about the act of purposely leaving it out for someone to see, to be able to have that gift, and how that is going to now impact their day in a positive way. They're going to get this good feeling. You're going to be the receiver of the blessing of knowing that you helped somebody out. And they're going to remember that. And hopefully that's how you create that kindness train, that gratitude train of giving to other people when they're least expecting it. So we hope you continue to join in with us on Wealth Wellness Wednesday. I promise you it will change your mindset, especially if you're in a funky mood. You are broke. You need it more than anybody else to be able to give to people and put that thought process into the universe. So we hope you join with us on every Wednesday. And if you've never done it, I would highly suggest you try it, see how you feel. Let us know, because I'm telling you, you're going to feel good.
Yes. And on that note, share the wealth, create your impact zone. My name is Janis, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I'm with TwoSistas,
and this is Carol, aka enjoying my lunch with my sister on this Wealth Wellness Wednesday. We hope you have a great day, impact others, pass that kindness forward, and be passionate about anything and everything that you do. And we will see you tomorrow for Trending Thursday. I wonder what's going to be trending tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.